What's going on, guys? It's the Spectrum here, and the ban list has been released on Shriek, the confirmed version. So, I'm going to be going over it now and giving you my two thoughts on it. So, let's go. Okay, so first we have Banned. Fishbowl Blaster, Mind Master, Giant Trunade, and Royal Oppression. So, first off, Fishbowl Blaster. That's finally gone. That thing is so broken. Discard a card from your hand, special summon it back to the field. Use it for a synchro, bring it back, synchro, bring it back. It's so powerful. It just had to go. It was so ridiculously powerful that it made Cloudians really, really good. There was OTKs going around. No, it had to go. Just did. Mind Master. If you've seen the FTK, you know it's powerful. It's extremely powerful. All you need to get is the field spell, Mind Master, and a psychic monster in your hand, and you've got game. That's it. So, yeah, that had to go. Giant Trunade. Everyone was bitching about this card when it was going round at Worlds, and, to the end of the format, it was just Giant Trunade drops, you're about to lose, basically. It doesn't require the same skill as Heavy Storm, and it's harder to counter. I actually remember Pusey saying last format that he said it wasn't broken. Bring it back and have two. No, ban it. And finally, Royal Oppression. I don't know what they were doing there. Maybe it's remote exceeds, I don't know. A friend of mine was saying, yeah, now decks that don't special summon don't have that tech option. Well, that's true, but what's more annoying, Royal Oppression at 3, where, okay, they drew Royal Oppression. It's a logical card. It means they can't special summon the majority of the times. They drew it, they played it, whatever. Or Royal Oppression at 1, where of all the cards you had to draw, you drew the one trap that can stop me dead. It's really annoying. So, since there's so many special summoning decks out there contrasted to the ones that can run Oppression, I prefer the fact that they banned it. I know a lot of people will be saying that was a really bad move, but I personally like it. Next we have Limited. So we've got Blacklist Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, Debris Dragon, Lone Fire Blossom, Legendary 6 Samurai Shien, TG Hyper Librarian, Formula Synchron, Heavy Storm, Primal Seed, Shien Smoke Signal, and Pot of Avarice. So Blackluster Soldier, we knew that was coming back. Came in Gold Series 4. The card's not nearly as powerful now. We've got 3 Chaos Orcs as well, which you'll notice are not on this list. So the chances were it was coming back, and we were right. So there we go. Debris Dragon and Lone Fire, I'm going to talk about those together, because they're done purely because of the plant engine. Now, what you've got to consider here is that it makes the engine a lot less consistent. Lone Fire, firstly, if you had 2 in the deck, not only does that increase the chance of drawing it, but it also means you've got 1 extra to dump to the deck to fill up for Pot of Avarice. It also breaks many combos when it's just at 1, so if you draw 2 in hand and you can't special summon the second one from the deck, there's things like combos with Monster Reborn and stuff that you can't pull off, so just having 1 in the deck means that you can't make those plays anymore. Also, it means that there's 1 less to remove from play for Spore, so that makes that a lot less of a good move. And it just means that decks that go, tech in Plant Engine, they don't get as many broken plays. It's not as consistent. And then Debris Dragon's just there to come back and Black Rose Bomb with it later, or Trishula with it later. And now they can't do that as consistently either. So the Plant Engine isn't going to be that useful for Synchro anymore. I don't think it's even going to be that good for Exceeding, because, well, I don't know. It's a lot less consistent now. So, Glow Up Bulb's still a good tuner. Dandelion's still a good monster, but it's not nearly as good anymore. Shien. Shien being at 1 is a good move. If you get more than 2 out in the field at the same time, it's such an overpowered card. Because 1 Shien on its own, you can Book of Moon it, and that means that they have to negate the Book of Moon, because either way Shien's not on the field. But if they have a second one, you can't do anything. So bringing it down to 1 was a good move. It's like Brian Akugoyo. It's too powerful if it's you've got more than 1 on the field. And on a similar note, Hyper Librarian. At 1, it's not that bad. You draw 1 card for a synchro, big whoop. At 2, you were getting these horrendous pluses. And then following on from that, Formula Synchron was just broken. So, synchroing's definitely taken a big hit. We've no longer got a plant engine. We can't abuse Formula Synchron anymore. We can't abuse Hyper Librarian anymore. I guess for Samurai, they can't abuse Shien anymore. Maybe, and we've lost Debris, we've lost Fishbowl, we've lost Mind Master. There's a load of, synchro related stuff getting hit. And I think now that we've got Exceeds, they don't care if synchros go out. So, there we go. Heavy Storm. Everyone wanted this card back. I wanted this card back. And actually, just in the last Locals, I was beginning to question myself because everyone's complaining about Giant Trunade. Well, how would, Heavy Storm being in their hand have made any difference? What would you have, ultimately thought, oh, Heavy Storm, therefore I can automatically be smarter and not place my back rows? It wouldn't have made any difference. You would have placed those back rows and Heavy Storm would have still killed it. The difference with Heavy Storm is that for some reason, unlike Giant Trunade, it gives everyone more of a fear of putting their face downs. Now, maybe it's because you don't get those face downs back to your hand. But either way, it generally involves more skill. I think, bearing in mind this is now a format with Heavy Storm and Dark Hole in it, you're going to need to start making Starlight Road. It's just going to have to happen. Starlight Road on a Heavy Storm is always a good move. The maximum back row you see when Heavy Storm's around for a good player is 2. And now with Heavy Storm in hand, you have to think, is that face down Starlight Road? And then you've got MSDs to sort that out with. So, I don't know. Heavy Storm going back, good thing. We'll see how that goes. Primal Seed. If you don't know what this card is, essentially it's salvage for remove from play monsters. When you have Envoy of the Beginning on the field, you can get 2 of your remove from play monsters back to your hand. It's a good card, but it's not amazing. It's kind of specific, kind of situational. I don't think it'll be played that much. Shien Smoke Signal. Basically, more Six Samurai hate. The thing is that over here, they're sort of dwindling out of fashion. But in the OCG, they are still really, really good. So they needed a hit. And you've got to think about it. They've taken out the 2 main cards for Six Samurais now. It's going to be harder for them to get into Shien plays, but not impossible. So they might still be... They'll be sort of like Light Sworns. If they sort of dwindle this format, they'll just axe them next one. So look out for Six Samurais still. And lastly, Pot of Avarice. Milling and generic plant use is not, a good reason for Pot of Avaricing, and people just put it in 2 3s, and it's an unfair +1 each time. At limited, fair enough, whatever. Okay, so now semi-limited. Summoner Monk, Tragodia, Necrogardener, DeLorean, Destiny Draw, Swords of Revealing Light, Mind Crush, and Call of the Haunted. This is where the ban list sort of caught my eye. Double Summoner Monk was a good idea, kind of, because on the one hand you have more Summoner Monks because we don't have Rescue Cat anymore. You can't go Summoner Monk, Rescue Cat anymore. You can now go Summoner Monk, Stratos, Search, Malicious, that's the one. And play Destiny Draw and then exceed into a rank 4 that requires 3 level 4 materials, but that hasn't come out just yet, so we don't have to worry about it just yet. So it's really pushing Exceeds. No one really uses Summoner Monk for synchroing anymore because it's such an unreliable engine, and it's not really going to take over from the plant engine. You have to ditch a spell just to summon a synchro monster. It's not really worth that much, but still 2 could be interesting. Tragodia really, really doesn't bother me. If it was at 3, I would have a problem with it, but at 1 or 2 even, it's just not that deadly. Especially since we have Heavy Storm and triple MST, you might as well just play Gauze, really. Necrogardener, interesting way of helping out Light Sworns and Twilight, I guess, in general. So we'll see what happens there. DeLorean had to go. Nothing to say more about that. Destiny Draw. I was saying that Destiny Draw was going to come back to 2 because they want to help out Destiny heroes, but not give them anything as broken as what it used to be when it was at 3. 2 Destiny Draws and 2 Maliciouses, it's interesting because you're only going to you probably want to run 2 to get consistency, but you're not going to play 2 in one like turn or like one duel, I guess. So that could be interesting to see how that plays out. Double Swords of Revealing Light. All that means is that you're going to see more bad kids playing 2 because now it's at 2 and not 1. That's it. Mind Crush. I like that. I like Mind Crush at 2 because there's so many people complaining about Sangan ruling. Obviously, this is an OCG ban list, so they didn't make it for that reason. But it's still the idea that we have an ability to stop decks that search out a lot. So gadgets, sabers are pretty much negligible now. We've also got things like Six Samurai are truly dead now with that back. It's just not. It's a good side deck option. I like it at 2. And Call of the Haunted plus Monster Reborn, and now Call of the Haunted is at 2. Maybe that was their response to 3 MSTs, whatever. And finally we have Unrestricted. Judgment Dragon, Spirit Reaper, Overload Fusion, Mystical Space Typhoon, Megamorph, Gravity Bind, and Icarus Attack. So this is one of those formats that's really just going to go down as... Yeah, they made a bit of a foolish move there, but the rest of it was okay. So Judgment Dragon, back to 3, really... They semi-limited it for a reason. It's an overpowered card, it really is, and it's like... It only belongs in one archetype. Now I get the fact that they wanted to bring back Light Swans, but why couldn't they done that by bringing back some of their limited cards other than JD? It's too powerful. And the thing with JD only has to be splashed into Twilight to make it extremely ridiculous. And there's not many ways to stop it. I mean, now we've got Solemn Warning, and we have people starting to take Black Horn of Heaven, I guess. But it's an annoying card to be at 3, so that's probably my least favourite thing on this list. Spirit Reaper to 3 is interesting. I reckon that's going to get really irritating after a while, because if Black Wings do come back, which this list is hinting at they might be, then they're going to tech maybe 3 of them. And it's just going to be with Fishbowl gone, there'll just be things like Monarchs and all that will play Spirit Reaper at 3, and it would just be you constantly keep anything face down as a Spirit Reaper. It would get really annoying. So I don't know. Overload Fusion, supporting OTKs, but no one plays that OTK anymore. Mystical Space Typhoon to 3, that's kind of cool, and say might as well because of Dust Tornado being at 3, but we've got Heavy Storm now as well, so you can't really rely on back row anymore, which I'm thinking is another thing against gadgets, because if gadgets can get the ultimate offering off, they're fine, but the fact that they've got Mystical Space Typhoon at 3 kind of counters that, so whatever. Megamorph is an OTK card that no one plays anymore, so yeah, it's annoying that it's back at 3, and we might see some consistent OTKs coming out, but triple MST counters it, so there we go. Gravity Bind, they're really, really, really pushing Xyz. Gravity Bind basically doesn't affect Xyz because they have a rank, not a level. And so anything that bases around synchros, like Karakuris, like Tengu Synchro, like, I don't know, Durax, Flamvel. I mean, Durax are kind of okay because they've got Xyz now, but Flamvel's kind of, things like that rely on big synchro monsters to make pushes. Gravity Bind will go up and they'll go, now I've got to wait for that MST, and then they have to play MST on Gravity Bind. Not one of your deadly face down cards, so there we go. It's good. I'll probably be siding 2 for next format, just for when I've swarmed the field with Utopias and just go, well, have fun. Icarus Attack at 3, bringing back Black Wings, like I said. Nothing much to say there. The card's good, but it's not too good to have it 2. I don't know. I think because we've got, once again, more MST any goodness, then actually that might be a bad thing. Don't use MST on an Icarus attack. But Blackwings need a little boost, and they're one of the only decks that can Synchro Summon consistently, I think. But I'll probably talk about that in another video. So that's the rest of this ban list. Overall, I'm thinking it's okay. It's not the best one I've ever seen. I don't particularly like 3 JDs. I'm not a big fan of Debris at 1. But if it had to be done, if they think it had to be done to get rid of Synchros, then I think that was okay, because Synchros are really overpowered. And I think with that Plant Engine gone, Tengu is still good, but it's not ridiculously good. Okay guys, one last thing is I have a few new ones with this new ban list and a new deck I'm going to be trying out, so they'll be on the screen right now. As you can see, I've put the picture of the card rather than just the name, so you know what it looks like, and obviously most players know what cards they are anyway. If the specific rarities are on there, but you may not be able to see it clearly, so do ask if you're not sure. And if the picture's like in a double, like an overlay, like the Summoner Monk, then that means I need 2 of them. So PM me if you have any of those, and I will be putting up a binder video soon, because there were a lot of things I just sort of looked at in my decks and went, nah, I'm not really going to use them anymore. So I have a lot of things up for trade. So PM me. That's it guys, thanks for watching, bye bye.